Iniopteryx. This fish lived in the Carboniferous period. It had a unique appearance, with wings that grew from the back of its head. It grew to around 50 centimeters long. It may have hopped out of shallow water like a Japanese flying fish, but this is not certain. It may also have swum at the bottom of the deep ocean like the silver chimera, but the details of its ecology are still a mystery. Frilled shark. Named for the frill shape of its 6 large gills, it has only one dorsal fin. Its 3-pronged teeth are very primitive and only otherwise seen in fossils. Not much is known about the ecology of this species because it hasn't been observed much in the wild. Deep-sea sharks like this also can't be kept in captivity for long because their livers stop functioning properly without relatively heavy water pressure. Sperm whale. Its square head takes up almost 1/3 of its length. There are rows of large, conical teeth in its lower jaw. The teeth in its upper jaw never erupt. As it eats its prey, usually squid, whole, it needs no teeth to feed. Teeth might instead be used for fighting between males or bringing food back to calves. Axelrodichthys. This giant coelacanth lived during the late Cretaceous period. It was the largest of all coelacanths, at a total length of about 3.5 meters. Its mouth was lined with small, fine teeth. Unlike other coelacanths, which were largely freshwater species, this one lived in the sea, which may be why it grew larger. Australian ghost shark. A fish with a silvery body and a long snout like an elephant's trunk. Smaller in size than sharks, it is considered mild-mannered and unlikely to harm other creatures. It feeds primarily on mollusks and other invertebrates near the seafloor. Slender ribbonfish. This deep-sea resident has a uniquely shaped head and a long body that is soft and able to withstand the pressure of the depths. It sometimes propels itself forward vertically in the water by moving its dorsal fin. At its largest, this species can grow to over 2 meters long. Okeanos' guardian. This large goblin shark was lurking around the ruins. It may be a descendant of a creature, referred to as the Ammit of Okeanos, bred by the ancients. The name Ammit is derived from a creature of Egyptian myth with the body of a lion and the head of a crocodile. It acts as a leader to the goblin sharks that surround it and has an aura of menace. Japanese grenadier. This member of the Macroridae family is widely found in warm waters. It has a gelatinous, pointed snout and is called by various names based on its resemblance to a mouse. It is a demersal fish that prefers sandy and muddy areas and eats benthic organisms in deep waters. Echinochimera. This small fish lived during the early Carboniferous period. It is also said to have been a hedgehog-like silver chimera, and had spines growing near its head and on its back. The horns on its head were probably venomous. The male was about twice as large as the female, and its diet was probably based around crustaceans and shellfish from the ocean floor. Moontail bullseye. Though this fish can be found in shallow waters, it prefers living at greater depths. It may either group up into shoals or be solitary. During the day, it likes to hide behind rocks or inside holes, and then at night it comes out to dine on small fish and crustaceans. Black swallower. This fish lives in the deep sea. While it normally resembles a regular fish, it is able to open its mouth unusually wide to eat. Due to food scarcity in the depths, This fish can preserve food in its stomach, though some members of the species may overstuff themselves and die as a result. Banded angelfish. A primarily white fish with a black line running from over its eyes to the end of its tail fin. On closer inspection, a white border can be seen around this line and the black areas on its anal and tail fins. A nervous sort, it often hides on ledges or in caves. It eats sponges, fish eggs, and algae. Horsehead tilefish. This fish can be found in shallows as well as some deeper parts of the ocean. It uses its mouth like a shovel to dig into the ground and make a burrow. If you look closely, you can see a small triangle of white behind its eyes. It eats small crustaceans and polychaetes. Spotfin porcupinefish. A fish living in the shallow areas of coral and rocky reefs. It has spines all over its body, but these are shorter and fewer in number than those of the mammal it's named for. When it is startled or senses danger, it quickly swells up its body into a spiky ball. Yellow boxfish, young. A fish that migrates with the seasons, it has a boxy, distended appearance and black spots all over its body. While the juvenile is quite colorful, the adult is a darker, more subdued shade. When it senses danger, it emits a poisonous mucus from its skin, making it a dangerous fish for humans to approach. Rainbow trout. The name for this fish comes from the rainbow color of a male's body during its breeding season. It undergoes a process unique to the Salmonidae family called smoltification, which allows it to migrate between rivers and the ocean, and thus move from freshwater to saltwater, or the other way around, without running into issues. Just like other salmonids, this fish has pale, oval-shaped patterns called parr marks in the juvenile stage of its life. Tiger puffer. A species of pufferfish with a large, round body. Its back is dappled with black spots and white markings, and it has a bright white abdomen. Certain organs in its body contain a poison that is highly lethal to humans. Pacific bluefin tuna. This fish is brown and black with a white belly, and it has a spindle-shaped body that narrows to a point at the base of the tail fin. Its very large, cone-shaped head is dotted with two small eyes. If it ever stops swimming, it will stop taking in oxygen and suffocate, thus, even at night, it keeps moving. Bigfin reef squid. This species typically lives in deep waters, though it has been known to come into shallow waters during spawning season. It swims by wiggling the semicircular, transparent fins on its body, and observes its surroundings with its small, shiny eyes. These eyes, covered with a protective membrane, offer a wide field of view and allow this creature to spot potential predators from almost any direction. Bicolor parrotfish, red. A bicolor parrotfish of a rare red hue, it seems to have changed colors by ingesting pigments in the region's algae. Vibrant red shade aside, it still bears the unusual expression and small mouth peculiar to this glum-looking species of fish. Marine betta. Covered with white dots, this fish looks like a field of shooting stars. The complex pattern makes it difficult to tell where its fins and eyes are. Its dorsal fin has a patch on it that looks like an eye, making it look almost like a turkey moray's head. It hides in cracks in corals and rocks. Orange spine unicornfish, striped. An orange spine unicornfish with rather unusual stripes on its body. This atypical pattern may be a survival adaptation, as it blurs its outline and obscures its movements to predators, and research drone data indicates that there are many such predators nearby. Japanese bullhead shark. This shark has a large head and distinctive ridges above its eyes that can look like cat ears or cow horns. It lies still in reef crevices or on the seafloor during the day, then goes out to look for food at night, using its strong teeth to crush and eat mainly mollusks and crustaceans. Many-bark goatfish. This fish has several bands of black on its body and 2 long whiskers on its chin. Its color can vary significantly depending on the fish. Though this species may have the face of an old man, there are, of course, females as well. Black scraper. The juvenile of this fish is fond of eating jellyfish, and in particular Nomura's jellyfish, which is useful as that species has become overpopulated in recent years. As it grows into maturity, it becomes more omnivorous. Its body is bluish-gray, sometimes with cloudy patches along the sides. Pyramid butterfly fish. This species has brown, yellow, and white coloring. It can be seen gathering around reefs and feeding on floating plankton. A comb-like structure in its gills lets it filter out plankton from the water it takes into its mouth. This lets it feed without swallowing too much water. Tasseled wobbegong. This shark is wide and flat. Its color and pattern blend into the sand or reef where it lives, making it hard to see. Its wide mouth, filled with long, sharp teeth, extends around the front edge of its head. The mouth is surrounded by lengthy, beard-like tassels that imitate seaweed. Threadfin butterflyfish. It has a black circular pattern at the rear of its dorsal fin, from which a filament trails. The fish inhabits coral reefs and feeds on coral polyps and sea anemones with its mouth of small, hair-like teeth. Its range is quite vast, and it can be found in many different places across the ocean. While it may sometimes form schools, it is most often found alone or in pairs. Sea goldie, carp pattern. A goldie with a rare pattern that makes it look just like a Japanese carp. Since the patterns of these carp are the result of selective breeding by humans, it is unclear how they might have begun presenting among wild fish. It seems only males exhibit these patterns. Royal angelfish. This fish has black and pale blue stripes down its striking yellow body. When young, it has a circular pattern like an eye on its dorsal fin. It lives among rocks or coral reefs, forming harems. In rare cases, a specimen may have color mutations, but this makes it no less prized by enthusiasts. Bicolor parrotfish. This fish has a mouth that resembles a parrot's beak. While mature males are a sparkling green, females are a more subdued brownish color. Meanwhile, juveniles are white with orange markings and possess a cuteness that makes them highly sought after by divers. Green humphead parrotfish. This fish, which is gray or a light blue-green, has a head that looks like a big, inflatable crown. Males of the species tussle for territory by banging their heads into one another. The imposing fish lives around rocks and reefs, and unusually, consumes living corals. It also eats algae and crustaceans. Black-spotted puffer. This round fish's face looks a bit like a dog's from the front. It can be gray or yellow but is always covered in black spots. When startled, it draws water into its stomach, inflating itself and making the countless tiny spines on its body stand up. Although it usually swims at a leisurely pace, it is capable of short bursts of speed when it feels threatened. Yellow goosefish. This fish is flat and extremely thin with protuberances on its large head. Its mouth is full of large, sharp teeth that fold inward. The protuberances on its head are actually formed by spines from its dorsal fin. It camouflages itself by hiding under sand and mud, then jumping out and capturing prey that swims by. Sawtooth. This barracuda appears in shallow areas spread out over vast swaths of the ocean. It has a pattern of boomerang shapes running across its abdomen. While it looks similar to the great barracuda, the stripes on the body of that species only appear on the upper half of its body and never cross below the lateral line. Pacific white-sided dolphin. This small dolphin species is white, black, and gray in color, and has a dorsal fin that curves out like a sharp sickle. It is active and assertive, known to approach boats and ships. Since it swims in huge schools of 100 or more, it is a popular target for dolphin watching. Diamond squid. This squid has a bright red, spindle-shaped body, and spends most of its days deep underwater, though it may come nearer to the surface at night. Its eyes are not protected by any kind of membrane, meaning they are directly exposed to seawater. During its spawning season, this species lays egg masses wrapped in a gelatin, and the resulting births can number in the tens of thousands. Green sea turtle. It has a carapace made up of a central line of 5 hardened scales with 4 more on either side, and its legs are shaped like fins with the forward pair longer than the rear. Unlike land-based turtles, it is unable to draw its head and limbs into its shell. Giant grouper. This stout, big-mouthed fish is the largest of the groupers. A massive carnivore, it weighs up to 400 kilograms and is known to eat some sea turtles. Due to the strong pull of its mouth when it feeds, it is feared in some areas more than sharks. Sadly, overfishing has put this species at risk of extinction. Chub mackerel. This fish can be identified by its blue back and rippled pattern. It inhabits temperate and subtropical climates and migrates seasonally in large schools. It preys on small animals like fish and is in turn preyed upon by larger ones. Elegant firefish. This fish's bright coloring, with white in front and purple in back, resembles that of the sky at dawn. It has a long dorsal fin and a pattern on its head that makes it look perpetually angry. It is found deeper in the water than other gobies and usually pairs up into male-female couples. Lagoon triggerfish. When this fish feels threatened, it has a habit of making a grunting sound. Hence, its Hawaiian name is Humuhumunukunukuapua, which roughly means triggerfish with a snout like a pig. It has an aggressive temperament and will fight ferociously to protect its territory. Sea goldie, male. This fish looks like a goldfish except for the long spine on its dorsal fin. About 20% of the species is male. Depending on region, the male fish may look like the female, or it may be paler. When there are too few males in a shoal, some females become male to preserve the harem structure. Banded hound shark. This fish has a wide head and slightly rounded mouth surrounded by lobes of skin. It is ovoviviparous, meaning the eggs are incubated inside the mother's body. It produces around 20 young that feed on the yolk of their egg. Because it lives in changing habitats, such as shallow coastal waters, it is not overly affected by environmental change. It is often kept in aquariums because it is docile and easy to breed. Clown triggerfish. This fish is easily identified by its white polka dot underbelly and orange puckered up mouth. A young fish has polka dots over its entire body and is a popular aquarium fish. However, it needs to be handled with care, as it has a short temper and tendency to bite with its sharp teeth. Barramundi. This large, carnivorous fish lives mainly in freshwater. It preys on small fish and crustaceans. It has a pointed snout, tall body, and a large bulge near the back. As it is similar to the Japanese lades, it was once thought to be the same species. It is strongly territorial and popular among anglers worldwide. White-spotted conger. This fish lives in muddy areas of shallow seas, though it will sometimes move to deeper waters. It is distinguishable from other eels by its brown color with white spots. It has a larval form called a leptocephalus. During this juvenile period, it is actually transparent. Six-gill stingray. A ray with a very long snout, it usually appears in the deep sea but is occasionally seen at shallower depths. Whereas most rays have 5 pairs of gill holes, this species has 6. Its body exhibits a gelatinous texture typical of fish living at the deepest depths of the sea. Notably, it also possesses the ampullae of Lorenzini organs, which let it detect prey based only on vibrations in the water. Japanese fan lobster. This lobster has a flat body like a fan. When it feels threatened, it flees backward. Its larvae are sometimes called jellyfish riders for their habit of floating along with the jellyfish they also prey upon. Its shell is softer than that of a Japanese spiny lobster. Stone flounder. This species has a stone-like, hard part of its body, which is the origin of its name. It prefers to live near the seafloor in deeper waters, but it can sometimes be found in freshwater areas as well. Its body is covered with white spots that resemble pebbles, and unlike other species of flounder, the stone flounder does not have any scales. Blackfin tuna. One of the smallest tuna, usually measuring less than a meter long, this fish is often mistakenly identified as an immature fish of a related species. In recent years, scientists have come to better understand its distinctions from species like Atlantic bluefin and Pacific bluefin. Marbled flounder. Both eyes are on the right side of this fish's flat, elliptical body. It changes its color like a chameleon to blend in with the seabed where it lives. Very rarely, white-bodied marbled flounders are born. These fish lack the ability to change their color and are easily seen by predators. As such, they have a lower life expectancy. Leopard whipray. This species can be recognized by the leopard pattern on its back. Its tail, twice as long as its body, has a venomous stinger at the tip. It is not very active and spends most of its time buried in the sandy seafloor. American lobster. This massive lobster can grow to over a meter in length. It prefers cold waters and lives hidden under rocks. The color varies with the individual's feeding habits. It molts its shell periodically, renewing some internal organs at the same time. It ages slowly due to certain enzymes in its body and lives quite a long time. Kuruma shrimp. This shrimp is characterized by its gray or light brown body color and its dark brown stripes. It is commercially important in some regions, but as a result of trade it has become an invasive species in parts of the Mediterranean, harming local species by competing for the same food sources. Eeltail catfish. This member of the catfish family can be found living in saltwater, muddy seafloors, or reefs. It is notable for the venomous spines on the pectoral and dorsal fins, as well as for the way juveniles of the species form very dense schools. This is possible thanks to the strong pheromones the fish produces, which allow the schools to act in a uniform manner. An adult of this species, meanwhile, prefers to stay in the shade of rocks. Stark's demoiselle. Easily recognized by its beautiful dark blue coloring with a yellow stripe running from the tip of its mouth all the way along its back. Unlike other damselfish, it tends to live in deep water reefs and coral reefs. It is very wary and will conceal itself amid the rocks when it feels threatened. Broad cowtail ray. This ray sports a tail that not only has a venomous stinger in it, but is adorned with a frilly piece of skin. It tends to bury itself in the sandy seafloor with only its eyes sticking out. It swims in shoals and may sometimes appear in freshwater rivers. Kidako moray. This carnivorous fish has a long, slender body and a large mouth full of sharp teeth. It lives in crevices in coral and other reefs, and it will attack if it is approached carelessly. However, when it expels parasites or leftover food, it opens its mouth and allows tiny prawns to clean it. It waits patiently with its mouth open for the cleaning to finish. It's rather sweet. Short-tail stingray. This member of the red stingray family can be identified by the white spots between its body and fins. It rarely dives into sandy areas and generally migrates near the seafloor. It is a large animal, but gentle in disposition. It is also an active swimmer and fairly easy to keep, so it is a popular fish in aquariums. Black cowtongue. While this fish is a member of the Cynoglossidae family, unlike other flounder it has a somewhat elongated body. It is generally blackish in color, and its body is covered with fine scales. This species is most often found living in sandy or muddy areas. Flathead gray mullet. This fish lives all across the world. It has blue-green lines and is omnivorous, feeding on algae, crustaceans, and organic detritus that sinks into the water. It is highly adaptable and can survive even in polluted waters. Japanese eel. This fish lives in shallow freshwater but migrates to the deep ocean to spawn. Consequently, it can live in fresh, brackish, or sea water. Humans should take care to wash their hands thoroughly after touching the slimy mucus on the animal's skin. Antarctic silverfish, red. This red-bodied Antarctic silverfish is a rare sight in the deep sea, as most members of this species are normally blue or other dark colors. It is believed that, through evolution, this species has acquired a unique tolerance to extreme cold. Golden trevally. Easily recognized by its dazzling gold color, the adult is over a meter long, but the juvenile is tiny, making it easy prey for other fish. A young fish may protect itself by staying near larger creatures, such as sharks, that will likely find it too small to eat. But it's still not totally safe, as these larger fish may eat it after all. Bridled parrotfish. A member of the parrotfish family found in coral reefs and rocky areas. The male has a stunning blue-green color, and the female an equally striking reddish-brown. Both sexes have colorful tails and the same distinctive scale pattern. The species subsists on algae, and it tends to live alone. Dogtooth tuna. It is often found inhabiting the coral reefs in shallow shoreline areas. It can be distinguished from other tuna species by its lower first dorsal fin and its wavy lateral line. While smaller members of the species swim in large schools, larger ones are found in pairs or go on their own. Powder blue tang. This fish is brightly colored in blue, black, white, and yellow. It has a spine where the tail joins the body that can injure if touched. It is quite territorial and usually lives alone or in pairs. However, it can form up into huge shoals. It lives in shallow water near coral reefs and mainly eats algae. Purple queen. It is worth seeking out schools of this beautiful deep purple anthias near coral reefs. If you look closely, you will note a point to its mouth. The male can be told apart from the female by its reddish dorsal fin and the upturned mouth. Like other groupers, it forms into harems. Sapphire devil. As the name suggests, it has a brilliant blue body. It lives in shoals near coral reefs, and it has a forceful, territorial temperament. While the male has a blue tail fin, the female's is transparent. When excited, the fish can change color thanks to special cells in its body called iridophores. Pearlspot chromis. This fish has big eyes for its small body, and lives in large groups near coral reefs and rocks. Its body color can vary from gray to dark brown and other colors, and it may have white spots near its fin or tail. After a female lays its eggs, the male diligently protects the nest and tends to the eggs. Stocky anthias. Males of this species have a red mark on the dorsal fin, while females have the mark on the tips of their tail fin. This fish lives around coral reefs and gathers in shoals, feeding on plankton that get caught in the currents and driven upward. Its striking looks make it a popular aquarium fish. Blue-green damselfish. Found in shallow waters near coral reefs, this tropical fish has a slightly protruding lower jaw. Its shimmering emerald green scales change color as light hits them. A timid sort, it prefers to swim in groups. In moments of danger, the entire shoal of fish will dart for cover behind corals. Blue-spotted ribbon-tail ray. This ray is greenish-yellow with large blue spots all over its body. It also has a long tail with stingers on it and two blue lines running from root to tip. Because this species appears in relatively shallow waters, it is commonly sighted by divers. Longtooth grouper. This huge fish, around 1.2 meters long, is brown with numerous dark bands. It inhabits reefs at depths of up to 200 meters in the open sea. Living on its own, it hides among rocks during the day and emerges when night falls to hunt for its prey. However, it rarely strays far from its territory. Blue tang. A beautiful, vibrant blue fish with a yellow tail fin, often seen in coral reefs. Its thin body lets it hide in crevices in the reef when threatened. Although it primarily feeds on algae, it also has a strong liking for lettuce, which it is given in some aquariums. Blotched fantail ray. This ray has a thicker body than most and a long tail with a venomous stinger. Caution is advised when approaching it. Some members of this species have a scattering of black blotches, while others are almost totally black. Great barracuda. This fish is the largest of the barracuda family. It is usually found alone, though it may join a school during spawning season. This species is known to be a saguadera carrier, though this is dependent on its habitat. Its temperamental nature leads many divers to consider the species relatively dangerous. Large, sharp teeth and a body that can grow up to 2 meters in length reinforce this impression. Sea goldie, female. A grouper of the Serranidae family that resembles a goldfish. With its orange body and the hint of pink in its eye, the female of the species cuts a fine figure. About 80% of the species is born female, with some changing genders when the number of males in the shoal decreases. White margin unicornfish. A fish with a distinctive horn-like protuberance on its head. Although this horn is not present on young fish, it develops gradually as the fish grows to adulthood. It lives in and around coral reefs and is omnivorous, feeding on both algae and plankton. Spotfin butterflyfish. A white and yellow butterflyfish found only in coral reefs, it gets its name from the small black mark on the rear of its dorsal fin. It also has a black band running over its eyes. These markings may be to confuse predators about which side is the front and which is the back. Longspine porcupine fish. A spiny fish living in coral and rocky reefs. Like a pufferfish, it can swell up its body, giving it the appearance of a chestnut burr. It has about 300 to 400 spines in total. In adulthood it is often solitary and carnivorous, preying on crustaceans, mollusks, and benthic organisms. Tiger shark. This predatory shark is named for the stripes running down its side. It eats anything, humans, water birds, sea turtles, and even cans have been found in their stomachs. It is aggressive and omnivorous, eating basically anything that fits in its mouth. It also migrates widely from deep seas to shallow waters. Its heart-shaped teeth help it crush whole turtles. Scalloped hammerhead. Named for its distinctive head, which protrudes to the left and right, it has eyes and nostrils at the very end of each side and is said to have heightened senses of smell and sight. Its unique shape also acts like a rudder, giving it the ability to turn sharply. It dislikes the noise of divers' exhaled bubbles and generally will not approach them, but this does not mean there is no risk of attack, and caution is necessary. bowmouth guitarfish. The front half of its body resembles a ray, while the rear half resembles that of a shark. Its whole body is covered in fine scales, and there are a number of spines on its back. It can crush and eat solid food such as shellfish and crustaceans using its unusual ridge-covered teeth. Fat greenling. A demersal fish that lives mainly in relatively shallow reef areas. Its body color can vary depending on its habitat, ranging from reddish-brown to a purple-brown, but during its breeding season, a male will take on a bright yellow color. Sports anglers enjoy fishing for this particular fish thanks to the challenge it can provide. Transmission from HQ, unusual biometric signs have been detected at this dive site. A UML may be nearby. To locate it, we'll need to collect data from other anomalous creatures in the area. Your target's approximate locations will appear on the map as orange circles. When you're close to one, your scanner will also flash orange. Please try to find all the target creatures. Japanese whiting. A small, beautiful fish with a slender, white body. This fish lives in shallow, sandy waters and primarily eats polychaetes and crustaceans. It typically lives in schools near the seafloor and uses the sand to hide from danger. Thanks to the markings on its body, it can blend in with the sand. Japanese spiny lobster. This large lobster inhabits shallow reefs. During the day, it hides in the darker areas of the reef, retreating to the depths when it senses danger. It is mostly carnivorous, but eats a wide variety of food, including seaweed. Newborns are only about 1.5 millimeters long and look like white spiders. Japanese sardine. This long, slender fish has a silver underside and blue back with lines of black specks running along its body. It migrates in huge schools, ranging from tens of thousands to around 100 million fish. It is able to move in such numbers without colliding because it senses currents and water pressure with an organ called the lateral line. Red king crab. While resembling other crabs, this deep-sea species is a member of the hermit crab family. It is notable for appearing to have only 8 limbs, but it actually has 10, with 2 vestigial legs inside its shell, like other hermit crabs. Also like hermit crabs, it is able to walk forward. Cloudy cat shark. The cloudy cat shark has a fairly wide head with cat-like eyes. There is also a detailed pattern on its body, Females sometimes have bite wounds on them because, while mating, the male bites the female in order to position itself. Giant squid. This huge squid has 8 long arms and another 2 incredibly long tentacles, each over 10 meters in length, hanging from its enormous body. It prefers to live in the deeper waters of the ocean, though sightings in shallower waters, and instances of a specimen being caught in a net or drifting ashore have been more common in recent years. It primarily hunts neon flying squid or fish, and it possesses an ink sac, though it is up for debate how effective spraying ink is in the pitch-black depths of the sea. Yellow long-nosed butterfly fish. This yellow fish uses its elongated snout to get into openings in coral and eat small animals it finds inside. It sometimes rests in caves and crevices, and when in a cave, may float with its belly pointing upward. This keeps its belly safe and lets it use its dorsal fin to protect itself. Spear squid. This squid is characterized by its slender, spear-like shape. It is usually transparent, though it may shift to a brown hue when excited. Overall, it looks similar to the sword-tip squid, but its thin, short tentacles set it apart. A male of the species is generally larger than a female, but both genders have a lifespan of approximately 1 year. Spear squid. This squid is characterized by its slender, spear-like shape. It is usually transparent, though it may shift to a brown hue when excited. Overall, it looks similar to the sword-tip squid, but its thin, short tentacles set it apart. A male of the species is generally larger than a female, but both genders have a lifespan of approximately 1 year. During spawning season, this species breeds in shallow waters. Striped marlin. This fish is easily recognized by its long, spear-like upper jaw. The front of its first dorsal fin is high, then gradually dips toward the back. Its ventral fins are particularly long and narrow, and there are protuberances at the base of its tail fin. These give the marlin dynamic lift when swimming. Rebellatrix. This member of the coelacanth family is thought to have lived about 250 million years ago. Unlike its cousins, it had a symmetrical tail fin, divided in two, similar to a tuna or other fish that migrate at high speed over long distances. It is therefore thought this fish was a better swimmer than the coelacanth, going further and faster. Apollo. A giant sunfish of a golden color, said in certain legends to be the sun itself. This may be because of the way it looks when it goes leaping out of the water, like the morning sun rising out of the ocean into the sky. Such tales have earned this fish the moniker, Sun Dancer. Silver chimera. This species gets its name from the chimera, a monster in Greek myth. As that name implies, it is rather intimidating in appearance. The spine on its dorsal fin is venomous, albeit not a danger to humans. It flaps its oversized pectoral fins like wings as it swims. It is found in the depths of the sea, where it feeds on crustaceans, mollusks, and fish. Japanese lates. This fish's eyes glow red when light is shined on them in the dark. It is related to the Nile perch and barramundi. The barramundi has eyes that glow gold under light. The Japanese lates is an ocean fish, but it has been known to enter brackish and freshwater areas sometimes. Luna lionfish. Large, long dorsal and pectoral fins let this fish move gracefully through the water. However, these fins are venomous and extremely dangerous even if brushed against. Thanks to the intense pain they cause, this fish is a feared sight in the water. Blackfin dartfish. This species of goby, one of over 2,000 that exist, has dark shading on its back half and the edges of its fins. When young, it has a black spot on its tail. It lives on the slopes of rocky reefs, grouped up into pairs or small shoals. It prefers middle depths, away from the seafloor. Orange spine unicornfish. Sharp spines around its tail make this fish risky to handle with bare hands. Although the unicornfish family often sports a horn-like protuberance, this species does not. Instead, the male has long strands at the ends of its tail fin. It lives in small shoals and feeds mainly by pecking at algae. Striped bonito. A relative of tuna with rather distinctive teeth. Compared to the small and inconspicuous teeth of similar species, this fish's are larger and sharper. It also has thin stripes on its back. While it usually appears near the surface in coastal areas, it can also be found in the depths of the open ocean. Japanese flying fish. Easily recognized by the long, wing-like pectoral fins that it uses to escape large predators, this fish makes its getaway above the waves instead of underwater. It bursts out of the sea and spreads its wings, gliding over the surface of the water as if flying. Reef stonefish. This stonefish can be found even in very shallow water. The tough spines on its dorsal fin are highly toxic, and because it resembles a rock while at rest, extra care must be taken not to step on it, or really even touch it. Ribbon eel, yellow. When this unusual example of the species is young, it resembles a typical ribbon eel. However, as it matures, its coloration suddenly changes. The parts typically blue are yellow, and vice versa. Like the original species, it rarely closes its mouth, giving it the same somewhat adorable appearance. Japanese fluvial sculpin. This small freshwater fish has a flat head, no scales, and a protruding upper jaw. Its color is mostly brown, but varies with habitat. Unfortunately, its habitat is dwindling due to development near rivers, and the species is in danger of becoming extinct. Pilot fish. This species gets its name from the way that it swims in front of other fish, such as sharks and rays, as if guiding them forward. It is silver with a striking pattern of black bars across its body. These bars are a constant throughout its lifespan, making it an easy fish to identify at any age. blue mackerel. This fish has a unique wavy pattern on its back and a series of spots on its abdomen. The spots are quite light when the fish is young, and may remain fairly subtle even as it matures. It forms large schools with others of its species, and swims around near the water's surface. Orca, white. The orca is known to hunt marine mammals, its staple food, in groups with other orca, and there is a possibility that this indicates social characteristics within the species. This particular orca has had its coloration reversed compared to normal. The parts that are black on others are white on this one, and normally white parts are black. The cause of this mutation is unknown. great hammerhead. This large hammerhead preys on fish, crustaceans, and cephalopods such as squid. It is known to sometimes swim with its body tilted around 60 degrees to one side so its long dorsal fin can provide lift, like the wings of an airplane. It tends to travel alone and not form groups. Rough-skinned sculpin. This type of Japanese fluvial sculpin lives mainly in freshwater. Its body is covered in spots or blotches, and it has a flat head that gives way to a cylindrical tail. In spawning season, its gills and anal fin turn red. It then travels out to sea to lay its eggs and returns to freshwater in a process called seaward migration. Japanese angel shark. Its front half looks like that of a ray, but the rear half looks like that of a shark. It lives buried in sand on the seafloor, and as prey swims overhead, it catches it with its large mouth. Despite its flat, ray-like appearance, it is most definitely a shark. Southern bluefin tuna. A carnivorous tuna whose migratory paths stretch across the open waters of the southern hemisphere. It swims in schools and feeds on small fish, crustaceans, squid, and gelatinous-looking creatures called salps. Decades of overfishing have put the species at risk of extinction. Red cornet fish. This creature is often called names like flute mouth due to its physical resemblance to the wind instrument. The suction power of its slender snout increases when sucking in and eating small creatures. As it grows, its red color gets darker. Big Eye Trevally, spotted. Somehow, this species evolved to develop dark white spots that look like polka dots. It has a playful personality and a slow, considered way of swimming around. It is certainly a rare Big Eye Trevally specimen. All targets have been scanned and the mission is complete. Well done. Transmission from HQ. A very large source of strange biometric signs has been detected nearby. We are sending footage from the drone closest to the site. Based on the ping, it's likely Raja Emas. Maybe it turned transparent again, and that's why we can't see it. We discovered Raja Emas. Headquarters wants to know more about this creature's ability to become transparent. Please scan it and send the data. Short dragonfish. This fish is named for its long snout and pectoral fins that resemble dragon wings, though it is quite small. It is a bottom dweller that swims as if it were walking slowly on the seafloor. It prefers flat, sandy terrain with little slope. It is often observed in male-female pairs. Ancient Mother. A newly discovered species of fin whale whose ecology and behavior are shrouded in mystery. In the area where it was discovered, this creature was called the Sacred Mother, and was worshipped as the progenitor of all life. While it is still regarded with mystique, it has also become prominent in merchandise at souvenir shops. Transmission from HQ, data on Raja Emas received. Thank you for your hard work. The creature's ability to become transparent is still a mystery. We will certainly spend some time researching this. There were yellow lights in areas where Raja Emas has appeared. These are the creature's waste, and presumably consist of fine organic particles. Regardless, Headquarters is grateful to you for this discovery. I am certain you can also expect a reward. Raja Emas is a top priority UML investigation target for HQ. Since we were involved, they'll reach out to us when they need further research. I wonder what our next offer will be. Raja Emas. One of the unique species only found in the Veiled Sea, it bears many similarities to modern coelacanths, and it also appears to be able to mimic its surroundings. Details of its nature are still under investigation. What is known is that it is considerably larger than any known coelacanth, with its entire body covered in golden scales. This appearance is the reason for the name Raja Emas, or Golden King. When this creature arrived, what looked like glowing particles were observed. Further analysis indicates that this is in fact waste given off by the creature, though the particles appear to glow when exposed to any amount of light, even the dive lights of divers. The presence of these particles can even give the impression that the divers themselves are glowing. I am Sarah, your survey, exploration, and research assistant AI, and I'm here to support you both for today's dive. Early this morning we received an emergency transmission from HQ. A large population of crown of thorns starfish was reported in the area. That is what concerns HQ. You've been tasked with investigating the problem. Please scan 10 starfish each so HQ can learn how to resolve the situation. You found one. Nice work. Crown of thorns starfish. This starfish both lives in and preys on coral reefs. It has periodic population spikes that can seriously endanger local ecologies as reefs are destroyed. The starfish has few predators, at least in part because of its venomous spines, which are quite dangerous. By the way, do you remember when we touched on sharing? Your suit contains a function that will automatically connect you to nearby researchers, forming a sharing link. The sharing functionality is what allows you both to share data with each other on this dive. The more sharing links you have, the more rewards you'll receive and the more tags you will get. I recommend forming as many of these connections as you can. Good job. You're nearly done. Researchers are evaluated based on 4 criteria: teamwork, research, salvage, and exploration. It's always a good idea to check your evaluation and see how you might do better next time. You scanned 10 crown of thorns starfish. Well done. It's not uncommon for HQ to inform us about a mission while we're in the middle of a dive, like they did today. For example, when HQ detects that there is an unusual creature in your area, a search and scan mission will be initiated. When you receive one of these missions, be sure to check your map so you can find the life form and collect data on it. These appear to be tiger sharks, an aggressive and highly omnivorous species. Marine animals in this area are quite sedate. There's little risk they will attack you. The light has a calming effect on them. They went away. I'll send HQ the data you gathered so that they can address the situation. Thanks very much for your hard work today.